welcome everybody. If someone in the chat room can tell me if we have the sound, maybe it can be hi, Hop Soup. Do you? Yeah, we can hear. Yes, thank you. Ok. Du coup, c'est cool. Okay, that's nice. So right now I will speak in English. Most of the time in this live I speak in French, but today I will make an exception and speak in English for the community. You have to know that this live is recorded because I will send the video to Analog Weapon for upload this video on YouTube channel, the Magpie YouTube channel, and so don't be shy and oh, thank you, I follow you. Oh, thank you, Hope Soup. I very enjoy you liked my set, and yeah, I make music for people just have head shake and booty shake also, and also stuff like that. So yes, that's I'm very happy you like my music, and since the Spookfest. Okay, so let's go in the studio. Welcome to my setup. Okay. I will use my how explain my setup. That's a good question. Basically, I started music by playing trombone. That was my first instrument. I start to play when I was child, and what I like in this instrument was up. Like this is better. Yes. What I like in my instrument is in the trombone is the possibility to of course when you are a child, what you like is okay, you blow it inside and it creates a lot of noise. So like this. And that was funny. But also, what funny when you play trombone, I don't use it in my project called CE World, but I like to use this kind of trombone champ. Yes, not a trombone champ, but many trombonists are better like me. But what I like in trombone is also to use this kind of plug to modify the sound of the trombone. There is many tip of plug. I will not make a detail of this, but you have to know that when I start music, I start by playing trombone, and this is my first instrument. And for me, it's very important that the trombone stay my main instrument when I play music. It's got a very nice effect, and since a long time, I want to combine my trombone with pedal effect, and I arrive in different ways. Sometimes with a mic, sometimes with a customized plastic trombone that I drill to put inside some microphone. But yeah, I arrive to play some music with pedal and trombone. The fact is, I like to modify. As I said, I like to modify my trombone with this kind of plug in beginning, and after, why not use electric effect like Miles Davis, you know? And Miles Davis, you know it. Oh, I shake it. But this is the guy here. Welcome to Miles Davis, which is for me a big source of inspiration. he used also effect with his trumpet when he play electric music. And then after my studies, I arrive in a city in a countryside in France where most of young people listen some techno music, some electric music, and then I discover techno music, hardcore music, the free party spirit, and this kind of stuff. I was thinking, why not play techno music with my trombone? I want also to make party. I want also to dance. I want also to create music that people who like to dance on my music, and to create headbang and booty shake and something like this. And to be honest, I'm a child of the 90s. I grew up with Daft Punk and also Eurodance music, and also a lot of group from a lot of dance group, and I know this music, Prodigy, Chemical Brothers and Fatboy Slim, and to be honest, I like this kind of music, this kind of texture. So then I decided to buy some new instrument, to buy some synths, and to start to play music with synths. To buy my first synths, and not playing a modular synth, but I was very interested by semi-modular stuff. And after taking some new, making some search, I found the channel of Look Mom No Computer, which is this guy is amazing and create a lot of stuff, and he have, and in his video he play the MS-10, and Look Mom No Computer play his MS-10. I was thinking, oh yes, why not buy a sort of something similar than the MS-10. In the beginning I was thinking to buy an MS-10, but when I see the price I said, an original one, and when I see the price I said no way, that's too expensive. And I was thinking, okay, making some search, and I discovered the MS-20 Mini, that's the mini edition, made by Korg, and yes, the MS-20 and the trombone are my favorite instrument. The problem I got before after buy my synths was, okay, how can I combine it in a looper? That was not this looper. How can I combine it in the same time, my trombone and the MS-20 in the same time in my looper, in my loop station? And then I was thinking, okay, I have some problem because when I use mic, it's not very efficient. When I use effect, it's not very efficient, because I use a mic. I use this kind of mic on my trombone in the beginning. If you check on my YouTube channel, the first video I made, I was playing my trombone with this kind of mic, which is it's a Pro 35 by Audio-Technica, and it was very efficient when you play live music on a stage with different kind of band. But I will not use with my trombone, because I was harassed by my ex-neighbor. And my ex-neighbor said me that I played too much trombone because it was too loud, and he don't stop to harass me about the noise I made. And then I decided to buy this kind of plug, of a special plug made by Yamaha, which is called a silent brass. It's a special plug that you can put on your trombone, and if I decide to play trombone with this kind of plug, the noise that made the trombone is very quiet. It creates sort of a lot of silence like this. Etc. And this kind of plug is very nice because you can plug the plug, because this plug have this kind because the plug have this kind of box. Oh damn, that's silent indeed. Yes, silent for trombone. Nice. Yes, exactly. And this plug is very nice because you have this kind of box with, which is quite amazing because if you plug the plug on the mute in this box, and after you plug the trombone, the trombone plug in this box, and after you take an headphone, you can hear what you play. And this is very interesting because this is a mic. It's just a mic. Yes, exactly. The plug is built with a mic inside. And then this is not a very nice mic.
Yes,
it's not.
I was wondering how you researched the trombone.
Yes, exactly. That's because I have the silent brass. And that was because it is very nice to have the silent brass. It's because my trombone right now is plugged inside this. Maybe you see it. Yes, in this pedal, which is a Fender AB pedal. This is just a switch, and like this, when I click this button, I am in MS20 mode, and like this, I'm in the trombone mode. And then, if I can put some effect like this. So I have two instruments that is my main instrument. My MS20, my trombone. These two instruments are connected in a Fender switch, and after the switch, they are going inside the Big Muff P. Every guitarist know what is Big Muff P. It's a sort of I don't remember the description. And both Space Echo pedal, which is a sort of replication, which is a sort of copycat of the Space Echo amplifier made by Roland, and etc. And after these two effects, these two effects are putting in very classical way, distortion, echoes, and that's all. They are going inside in the core of my system, which is this amazing, I must admit, that amazing loop station, the RC505 made by Boss, and I must admit that loop station can do everything. About my 505, it's the original one, not the MK2, the MK2, because my project started maybe 4 years ago, and then this project, this serial started 4 years ago, and the MK2 was not here. One day, maybe if a boss is looking this video, why not one day have the MK2, because it's great. But the first one, the original one is very great because they have a lot of connection. The inside is stereophonic. The outside is also stereophonic. I organize you can organize in different way how you decide to create loop. The original mode is not very connected with how I play. You can decide if you create overdub just after, or if you have to click another one to create overdub. And you have also a lot of MIDI connection possibilities, and there are MIDI in, MIDI out, different way to plug. You have a mic in, you have also a line stereo in inside, and etc. You have effect in the inside, and you can also create effect outside. So after I decided to buy obviously a drum machine. Yeah, Arturia in France. Arturia create a lot of nice drum machine, and I decided to buy the Drum Brute because for two things. The Drum Brute machine, I decided the Drum Brute Impact to choose this one because it was cheapest than the original Drum Brute. I was very interested by the distortion effect you can have, but to be honest, it's more like a gadget to be to a real effect. And also, I was also very interesting because I want to continue my journey in modular synthesis with my MS20. How they said, the clock, there are CV clock inside this drum machine, and that was very important for one effect when I play music, because the line output going inside. This is the gray cable. This one, maybe you see this one. This cable is going from the output to my drum brute inside the sump and hold from module from my MS20. You can create some nice, very nice drone with this kind of effect. I will show you an example. Okay, I will create. I connect the sample hold to the low pass filter, and you can create this kind of effect. And I must admit that this kind of effect with some reverb like this, and you can also create some very cool effect, and that's why I choose this kind of drum machine. I'm very happy about the Drum Brute Impact, but if maybe I have to return back to the past, I will choose maybe the original one, the Drum Brute machine, the Drum Brute drum machine, and not the Drum Brute Impact, because there are more instruments, two different kind of kick, for example. There are also some FM drum and other stuff. So the workflow of this machine is very intelligent, and one function I like I like the most on this machine. This is maybe the polyrhythmic the polyrhythmic pattern you can create. About the MIDI connection, you have to know that all the MS2, the the RC 505 control every in MIDI the drum brute. The drum brute. If I start, if I decide to play to start in this sense, the drum brute start to play, and of course I can put and with the MIDI I can with the MIDI connection I can also change the tempo or make it slow down, and which is very easy to create to change some parameter. And does the length of the loop you record determine the tempo of the drum root? Yes, exactly, Bruno. I decided to use different the way to thinking. For example, this loop is created with the tempo of 83, but also I can choose. Okay, stop. I can also choose another loop. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this loop has the tempo of 109, and the loop you can play control the tempo you choose. It can be a sort of hazard, but yes. And after buying a drum root, a drum box, I was deciding, okay, right now, next step to the project is to buy some good sequencer, maybe some other modular synths, and my final goal is to create a modular synth in the area of the table. For example, oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Bruno. That's not awesome. That's just the magic, the MIDI magic. And then I decided to use also to buy also an Arturia Mini Brute 2, which is a great half modular, semi-modular synth. And because he have a very nice sequencer, and also the sound are very unique, I decided to also to make some plug inside in different way to create my maybe simple system for me. But you can also create in this synth you can also create 8 sequences for 65 step, which is quite, how said, quite small, but very enough for create electronic music. And that was enough for me, because creating more sequences with more steps, maybe it's become quite complicated with this kind of analog with this kind of analog stuff. And also, of course, you can plug it in MIDI also. So the MIDI out going to the MIDI in here, and the MIDI in here, the MIDI out here going to the MIDI in here. And then, so if I decide to push the start button in the 505, all the system starts to. And after, of course, you can change. After, I have my drum brute, I have my synths, I have all what I want to create some new music. I have a drum machine, I have a bass line. To finish about my synths, I decided to buy subharmonicon, I think in English, from Moog, and I must admit this is quite expensive, but oh hell yeah, that's very awesome, because it's the start of create a modular synths, and I want buy in the future different things to create a little modular here. And the subharmonicon is connect with a CV gate, a CV connection inside the mini brute. So about MIDI stuff, sometimes there are some tricky stuff after I will explain, but I have my synths controlling these things. Most of the time is controlling by CV stuff by the mini brute, which is controlled by the drum brute, which is controlled by the RC505. Okay. About when the sound out of the sound out is plugging on the master in, and the master and the out from the drum brute going to two effects. The first one with the telephone stuff is I like to call it a step freeze pedal, an experimental step freeze pedal. It creates this kind of effect. This is a concept that Simon the Magpie, that Simon showed us many times ago, maybe 4 years ago, I suppose, 5 years ago. 3 years ago, maybe, I think, he showed this kind of stuff, and after he creates, of course, Magpie effect, with the red button. But that's a pedal I create with iron and different stuff I use, and it's quite. The effect is quite nice, and if you combine, of course, with Big Sky, Strymon Big Sky reverb pedal, that create a very nice stuff. To be honest, for example, yes. Okay, then about MIDI connection, I don't finish about this because I explain you that the basic stuff I got RC505 going to the drum brute and going to the MIDI brute, and then the outside MIDI going inside the MS-20. I see something with a light in the floor. Yeah, I will explain after. I will explain after. But yeah, be sure I will explain after. But every time in every step in time. The MIDI through from the MIDI brute going inside this little box. It's homemade MIDI switch. I made also. I buy it on the solder who make stuff, and I can connect by MIDI my Korg MS-20 by MIDI. Because the MS-20 have in the back have a MIDI inside, so it can be very nice to have this kind of stuff when you play music, because sometimes it's on your music. It can be very nice if you can save the sequence I create in the looper. And sometimes it can create very nice effect because you can make a sort of different sequence. You can combine different sequence in the same. You put in the same stuff and create very interesting way to create music. You have to make some arrangement, but yes. The second plug, as you can see, of course, if I show you, there are two switches. One for the MS-20, but also one for the subharmonicon. And for the subharmonicon, it can be very nice. Stevie Wonder style, you make harmonies with individual monophonic line. Exactly. Exactly. And of course, I can decide to control by MIDI my subharmonicon, which means this sequence can be created in different way. But there is some problem because if I want that my subharmonicon play the sequence I want, I have to unplug the CV, the CV clock and the other stuff. So I don't use, but sometimes it can create some nice stuff like this. Especially when you use the oscillator, the oscillator sequences. It can create some drone with rhythmic pattern. So I like the way how it's just a bonus to plug the subharmonicon in MIDI, but yes, it can be useful sometime. About Grumeau, you want to know it since the beginning. What is this color stuff? This is a foot switch I use to control my 505 when I use my trombone. It's a MIDI foot switch created by Nectar technology, and this is a I think Nectar passer foot switch, and then I can create with my foot when I have my trombone inside my hand. You can create some loops with this kind of stuff. For explain you, I push the when I push this kind of stuff, it creates the MIDI. It creates the MIDI, and I push another time, and I can also stop with the other foot. I must admit that it takes me a lot of time to program, but it can be possible. But it's a question about MIDI channel and how you decide what MIDI channel can control in what MIDI channel inside. You can find it in the different option you can find inside the RC505. If you want, I can explain you what kind of trombone I use. What the history of this instrument has. I know that the Magpie Pirates is most of the electrical are most interested by electrical instrument, but you have to know that trombone and acoustic instrument have history, and this trombone was what the study trombone from the Mexico orchestra. Symphonic orchestra chief who's called Gaetan Kushta, and this guy was my trombone teacher when I was kid. About the mouthpiece I use, it's a Monet mouthpiece. It's not the one I use with my trombone. It's a special one for creating jazz. As you can see, there are a lot of. This is a quite long mouthpiece, and it's got very soft song, very soft, and it's made for create jazz music. When I play classic music, I use other mouthpiece, and the word of mouthpiece in trombone was very interesting. And oh yeah, I forget something about the song stuff. I don't mention this kind of this mixtable. It's a Behringer mixtable, but and inside I plug the kick, the snare, the different snare, the drum bass, and the hi-hat in a different channel. And I like also to use the space on the stereophonic line to create some space to, when I play. And also you have to know that the channel I use for my MIDI, the 505, is also, you can also calibrate in the space. This one is center, these two one are in left and right, but and the other one are left and right, but more are left and right. So for me it's more easy when I record music. And sometimes I use for my drum, for my FM drum, I like use sometimes some effect. Sometimes it's reverb. Sometimes like this one, it's a bass EQ I got, and sometimes I like to use it. So the 5 times are pre-paned. Nice. Yes, exactly. The paned, that was the name. And also some instruments are paned also in the pre-paned. I think it was interesting to do this to create space when you have mix, because when I record, this is only one channel to go to my DAW. And I use Cubase to mix, and I must admit that sometimes it got me some problem during the mix, but because I'm not sound engineering. So during the future, when I will have enough money, I I want to buy the case, the arterial case to put inside the subharmonicon, but I want to also to buy a Moog DFAM, I suppose in English. The DFAM can do some nice kick and nice stuff without note, because I want to create some music with only other stuff like note. I want to add some little noise, little stuff like this, and for the long time I want also to change this mix table to have and I think by model 24 made by Tascan, because you can create some nice effect directly in the nice table, in the table and in the mix table, and also use it as a USB interface with your DAW. And right now I think I find some limitation with this little mix table, and yeah, for me right now I think it's time, maybe in 1 year, in 2 years, to have a new one, and to add bass and yes, the possibility. Why not in the looper? It can be nice also. Okay, I think I finish. I will stop the record, and why not to jam together, and if you want to stay.